Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3. Let's get some more. Have your hands. Some more. Let's get some more.
Hey, everybody out there. Welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. We are going down the Omahaul. We are on episode 9? 8. Which one are we on?
8.
8. There's going to be like 20. So.
What was this from?
What the hell is that?
I don't
put that on there.
I don't remember. That's in the list of. I was getting this stuff ready to do the bar cart, and I was like, "What was this from?"
What the hell are you talking?
I feel like that's a Red and Allen thing.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. Maybe I missed that, but yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fair. That's not a bad one.
it's legit.
I feel like that's a fair statement. People should live by that one. But like I was saying, thank you for showing up this evening. We are going down a Scotch path this evening. Not what you would have expected, but they are ones that Mitch found in the stores on the travels, the great Omahaul. Mike, before we go any further, do you want to tell all the lovely fans out there about the Bar Cart Co-op, which we are a part of?
I sure do, and we only have lovely fans.
Well, we try to. We weed out the dicks.
All right, we need to make that a banner. You do that. You type that up while I'm doing this.
All right.
Okay. Well, we are proud members of the Bar Cart Co-op, which is a collection of friends who create content for the whiskey and other distilled spirits public. The Bar Cart Co-op YouTube and Facebook pages have information about upcoming and past special shows, which happen about every quarter. And I say about every quarter, from blind tastings to distiller panels to discussions of special collaborations and the usage of unique grains. The Bar Cart Co-op has educational and fun episodes for your enjoyment. Distillers Talk, which is the oldest show in the group, is hosted by Christy Atkinson and Alan Bishop. It is a conversation with people from distilleries and distillery adjacent. Gets into deep and sometimes off the rails and back again discussions with their interviews. New episodes arrive at the end of the work week. And if that one's not nerdy enough, check out One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, where Alan Bishop answers any questions about distilling and often puts them to the test. It could be individual grains, entire mash bills, equipment, or methodology. New episodes come out randomly, so subscribe. And then there is the Bourbon Turntable, where they mix the love of music with the love of whiskey. They have conversations with musicians, writers, distillery folks, and common folks like us about music and whiskey. It releases every Wednesday on all your platforms, including YouTube. And then we have If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, which is a show about spirits and paranormal among us, as well as the unexplained and the spiritual. Subscribe on Spotify to get the 5 seasons. And last, but certainly not least, we have, bringing up the rear, Mr. David Levine. David takes good notes. David types well on website. David speak pretty. David does all the things that we don't do.
Indeed.
Sorry, I was muted because it decided to rain all of a sudden, which is awesome.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
My dog is currently sitting in a mud puddle outside.
Just hanging out.
That's fair.
That's fair. Now, Mitch, what one do you want to start with tonight?
Alexander Murray 35.
Okie dokie.
Just wanted to shake it up a little. A swoosh.
That's how you roll, baby.
So unfortunately, I will not be able to join them in all of the tastings because I organized my bar and cannot find things anymore. I found some empty boxes of what we were going to be trying and then some bottles. So
it's almost like somebody else in your house drinks whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's Scotch,
Scotch, though.
That's nothing to. This is very friendly.
What do we know about this Alexander Murray?
We know it is 35 years old.
Okay.
That is the end of what we know about, or what is officially known about this. But it's a blended Scotch, so it is definitely malt as well as grain whiskey. Alexander Murray is one of, in my opinion, the best blending houses in Scotland. They don't only use their own things, kind of like Johnny Walker and Dewar's do, where they'll straight up buy the distillery to put it in their blend.
I like when they do that. It's like, we're going to use a whole bunch of you, so
Yeah.
you're ours now.
You're mine
I
now.
appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
In super corporate speak, that's just vertical integration is all that is.
Synergy.
It's just energizing. Just
Dynamics.
the better you can integrate, the better.
Do you know the ABV? I'm assuming this is like 43-ish.
I believe it is 43. I completely forgot to look or to try and remember that.
It's like a light caramel, a little bit of honey. It's like wild honey. I know that sounds weird, but there is a little bit more of a floral note to it.
No, this is actually 80 proof.
Ah,
I can really get in here, so
yeah.
there's
So I went to Total Wine. So this is technically the first bottle I bought of the Omahaul, because this was me leaving Kentucky at Total Wine and being like, they don't have Total Wines in Nebraska. So I'm going to buy something I can only get at Total Wine and take it out there. And there was a fellow there who was like, well, we got plenty of open bottles. We can figure out what you want to get. And I was like, buddy, you are the one guy I wanted to run into today, right? So tried a bunch of things. This is one of 3 bottles I settled on, I think.
Well, Mike, your thoughts? What are you getting off? Are you?
Well, since he said that, I'm looking up to see if we can find out what it says here. It's just called the Rare Blend 35 year.
Yep.
Okay. So nothing.
Yeah, they give absolutely 0 hints as to where this comes from.
So I get like the I get when you were saying the honey on the nose, but I do get like a small fruit basket where it's just like you get like a little apple, a little grape, and a little bit of pear, and
the grape definitely. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I was just getting such that like a bit of honey on like underneath like the base line of it, like a thick line. And I was having a hard time discerning some of the fruit notes you're talking about. I knew that stuff was in there. I just couldn't hit on it. There's more. Not really this time.
Huh.
So yeah, if memory serves correct, it was really well balanced and kind of delicate. And then once you got into the palate, there was a little bit of that like super mild peaty earthiness. But I'm trying to remember from a year ago.
When you say light and delicate, I do get like pastry notes and some darker, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. But like it's almost like it's flaky. I don't know what pastry that would be like, but it's like a flaky pastry.
it's a little Irish on the nose.
Okay. Well,
And when I say that, I mean like I'm talking like the older Middleton type Irish. I'm not talking metallic Jameson here. I need to taste this.
It does have that buttery quality over the palate on the entry and midway through, especially over the middle of the tongue for me. I get that buttery, or like the buttery, silky feel, I should say. Plus a little bit of the milk.
It's like a combination of silky and oily.
Mm-hmm.
Soily.
I'm not 100% sure they would love that that in particular description.
You've soiled my food hole.
It's all soily. Just a bit soily.
They hate Americans anyway.
That is true. But probably for good reason. So
Yeah, I was about to say there's a not small percentage of the world right now who feels that way.
Why's that?
I couldn't tell you. It has absolutely nothing to do with those weird ass fireworks in the sky right now.
Yeah, Morgan, this is not. Morgan, you are missing out.
all right.
Yeah, Morgan, if you want to come down and search for it, I'd really appreciate it. It's somewhere over here, I think, or it should be.
Much friendlier than I expected. You said, oh, if it's a little bit of peat, man, it is mildly in the background and very well balanced. It's almost just like a slight hint of it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm getting off of it is on the finish. Actually, it's got a little more earthy depth on my tongue that I was not expecting on the front half. There gets to be, I don't say like a woody texture, but there's a little more tannin and, yeah, like I said, earthy. God damn it, I'm gonna have to pour more.
It's got, the thing I noticed, the finish is
It's smoky.
It's delicate, but it's not weak by any means.
Yes.
It's just like that would be a good way to put it. Just subtle. It's just it's again subtle, but not weak.
So to me, what I remember from it was just how incredibly well balanced it was. Like when I was drinking it, it was nothing overwhelmed anything, and it was just incredibly well done and like well melded together.
I'd agree with that, but like you were saying about Alexander Murray, the ones I've had, they all seem like they've taken their time to make sure everything marries well. But this is, it's really good, and like I said, I'm intrigued by the finish because like this is the second or third time after maybe my fourth drink that on the finish I'm almost getting this like earthy note the more I'm talking, like clinging to my tongue and like a little bit of barrel and brown sugar underneath it. It's
Maybe a little chocolate, like just a little bit of chocolate.
okay, but do you get like a little, like it almost seems, where he was saying peat, it almost seems just like a little bit of smoke instead of peat.
Not peat, but just a
It's
little
like a smoke.
Yeah.
Like a smoked chocolate. Sounds weird, but there's like.
Oh, it sounds good.
Yeah, like it's like if you had smoked a little bit of milk chocolate. It has a little. That's the earthy outside that rolls around. It's very interesting. It's for it being as lighter on the nose, so you could find stuff that wasn't overwhelming for me, kind of midline, and I was going in to find stuff. The taste and the finish has been a really enjoyable ride the whole way through. Not overpowering.
No.
I obviously I'd love to see this at 46 or a little bit higher someday, but for what this came out at, that's an enjoyable ride you can sip on all night. Well, yeah, I almost like that might be if you put that with a course of food. I don't know where it fits in, but there is something there that this would work well with because there's a lot to it. So
Food choice might be kind of tough for me on this one.
I know, and that's why
It's almost its own meal because you don't want to ruin it.
that would be tough, but I'm saying you got to find something. Does it sound terrible where it's a dry rub rib? Sorry, maybe I'm just hungry still from earlier.
I mean, I think if you had a lightly seasoned filet mignon, maybe. But yeah,
Well, you're going fancy because of the number here. I like it.
No, but I think it's because of the subtlety of it. That's why. And I was thinking you had something that's not going to overpower it with seasoning.
Just the butter on top.
Yeah,
you can see that. But then we do have a Lagavulin, which will be Ron Swanson's choice for that. So we'll have to see how that compares. But all right, Mitch, what should we do next?
Next is the wall-to-wall 19-year.
Okay.
Save a little bit of wall-to-wall 19.
From the window to the wall. All right. I already started my blend too.
Nice. So this is a blend from Mr. Gene
Nassif.
Thank you. Nassif.
Yay.
So we're going to call him friend of the show / all-around great guy and amazing blender. So Wall to Wall is a store out here, kind of like Liquor Barn is in Kentucky. Just kind of a large local store. So this is a blend of 19-year scotches from Girvan, Glendronach, Glenglossa, and Benriach.
I
Okay.
was
And
muted.
do I like it?
I'm going to say that just by the distilleries you named, I'm intrigued as to how this comes out. I haven't gotten close to my nose yet, but.
Do we know the ABV?
Yes, the ABV is 46. We also have a lovely little
let's make them big.
Bottle thing.
Wait,
so it's a
there, make Mitch big.
Right, there you go. The stills have been getting into the alcohol a little bit. They look very happy, right?
I like it. I was thinking about leaving them that way for the rest of the show because you can control it.
Or not.
It'd be the Mitch show. Everyone just talking over. Oh, we can do this.
I could see Morgan not liking this one.
Yeah. You can do this too.
We're not trying to scare people away. We don't need my face bigger than it already is. You can make it smaller. It's cool.
Okay, this coming up to it is just all sorts of excitement for me.
Right, so Glendronach is one of the sherry bomb, distilleries to me. Glendronach and Aberlour, just sherry. And then you've got Benriach, which is darn good and often sherried. Glenglossa, haven't had a lot of. I want to say they're one of the Brown Forman scotches. Not 100% on that.
But the peaty smell on this one is lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Like medium power, but
so we are ramping up
around. And I get a little bit of sherry and a little bit of funk to it as well on the sides here. Does dirty sound right, Mike? Like there's an earthy, but almost like dirt.
I wouldn't say
mossy, but
yeah. I think stick with earthy. Okay, you two knock it off.
But we have rooms. I'm in one of them. She's in another.
This is like an old AOL chat room right now.
Come on now.
LOL. You can call me Sir Mitch.
I just got
what is thy name, maiden? No, my mom's not home. Why are you asking?
Whoa.
Okay, hold on, baby.
I'm holding on. I'll put my hands down. You're gonna have to have a sip.
I know. I'm really, really liking this nose a lot.
The nose is friendly, but that was more of a ride than I expected. It got underneath my tongue and kind of scared me for a second, and then it was just off to the races with flavors. Yeah.
Gene knows what he's doing.
Holy shit. Hold on here.
Also oily.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very oily, but
The peat jumps on the palate.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The peat
It's
isn't as present in the glass as it is on the plate.
Yeah, it is oil and peat.
I think it's getting to like for me, like the peat level or smokiness kind of. It's almost like a Talisker Storm level for like kind of
A little less sea salt.
Okay,
or
but,
yeah.
yeah, I get that, but
Yeah.
I mean like a little friendlier on here. But this is
Mm-hmm.
honey apricot, a little bit of Honeycrisp apple.
Second sip, a lot of fruit.
Yeah, I think even like almost a little bit of raspberry, and then you start getting the peaty flavors to roll. It's almost like you're breathing out the peat flavor on the tongue and it's sticking. Like up until you did that, it was like fruity flavors, and then it started to be like when you exhale, you feel like you have a little puff of smoke. Sorry, that's the way I get with some peated.
No, that's pretty nice.
Pretty sure people can smell me
Mm.
in the best way possible. This is not what is it, Hennigan's?
Yeah.
The no smell, no
smell, no tell.
Yeah, Scotch.
Okay, do they still have this?
This is
At Wall to Wall, yes, I do believe they do. So
this is
Nebraska is not the most populous state.
This is a wildly good blend,
isn't it? So Gene 100% knows what he's doing. It is fantastic. I'm working on getting some Scotch buddies up here. I have one, but the thing is he's scotched out. Like he's drank so much Scotch. He's like, well, I haven't had a lot of bourbon. And it's like, well, darn. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Work.
Oh.
So he wants to try all these bourbons that he can't get. And it's like, well, yeah, I got a lot of those because, from Kentucky. But this is so good.
Yes, it is.
Smoked apple pig. I don't know. That's kind of. I'm coming back here. That's what I was getting. I was almost getting like a roasted pig with like an apple in the mouth. You use peat to smoke it.
I mean, you could. So this is weird, right? Because I've had a lot of like sherry finished peated whiskeys where it's like God, my brain just turned off there for a second. I'm so sorry. Where it's super stone fruit or dark fruity along with the peat. This one is not like dark fruited with the peat. It's a lighter fruit, like apple and pear and peach and stuff like that, rather than like plum and cherry.
Yeah, it's almost the opposite of what you would have expected, especially in my mind with that sherry finish coming from the Glendronach. I was expecting that to lean more, heavy-handed in that direction, just in general, and off the nose with it too, because I was getting I could tell that was clearly in it at that point. I just sniffed all over the glass. That's not a good thing.
Another good finish.
Yeah.
And a lovely long finish too.
Yeah.
It'll keep developing for a while.
Yeah. I'm working with that one right now.
And a little bit of numbing. I'm getting just a little bit behind my lips. Maybe that's how much I've drank so far. That could be on me. But all right. Mitch, where are we rolling to after that one? You're 2 for 2 right now. That second one was.
Next is Blackadder. Amontillado. Or Amontillado, sorry.
I'm going to mention again, Mitch's fantastic idea for shipping whiskey. These are outstanding because you can measure for what you're getting pretty good, better than the other thing. And I poured more than I was supposed to, but that's okay.
It's like
you can measure pretty good. Whoops.
Yeah. Well, maybe I meant to.
What do we know about this one?
Ooh.
All right. So I haven't been able to find where this was distilled.
Okay.
But it says it's a Highland. So there aren't a lot of Highland distilleries that do peat. But this is a cask strength single barrel. So this is coming in at 57.4% ABV.
Bullshit. I'm just saying that on the nose. We're just off the nose. I have a hard time believing that what you said is accurate there. I know it is, but
yeah. Well, I mean,
maybe I just need to flush out my system from the last one.
Wow.
So, bottled in 2022. This is originally a used bourbon cask fill that is then finished in Amontillado casks, Amontillado sherry. So if you read much Edgar Allan Poe, he has the poem "The Cask of Amontillado," where he ends up, bricking his friend into his wine cellar. So I saw that this was that cask, and I was like, I've never had that, and I like the poem or the story.
Yeah.
Like, let's buy it. And then I drank it, and I was like, oh, this is really good. So not only is this non-chill filtered, no coloring, I think it might be no filter, because there is definitely a bunch of stuff in the bottom of this bottle.
That's a norm for Blackadder, though, right?
No. So I have 1 or 2 other Blackadders, and this is specifically a peat reek embers, but the other Blackadders I got that were just Blackadders did not have that much stuff floating in them. It's an interesting nose when all 3 of us are quiet.
Well, what I'm also writing down. So this is it because the fruit note, because obviously that's what you're going to get, is it's really rich, but it's like a funky ripe jam.
I was gonna say, I'm like it's a dense nose to get in there. Oof. Ooh.
Yeah.
I must have a little bit of blockage because all of a sudden it opened up and there was a slipstream that went flying through my nostril. Woo! And I was blinking.
They can use that in their advertising.
Also, so this is a Dram Hunter selection. So if you know who they are, I do not. Apparently, it is a single cask chosen by them.
Very, very light on the nose. So I was putting stuff together here. I'm just changing. I'm gonna have to have a sip, right? I think my nose is stuffed up.
All right, sorry about that. My dog got up and just turned around, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Normally you're a little excited for pets.
What type of wine finish was that? Because you almost get this light cherry raspberry thing.
Amontillado.
Wow.
Yeah, then the peat happens. but you're still getting the berry. This is more berry than I expected, right? It's almost like cherry-ish. Sorry, I'm just asking Mike. Your
But a funk. There's just a funk
Yeah.
across it.
It's like if someone did a cherry port, like came through with the funk on a port with cherries. It's
So there's only one L. I appreciate that, but
that's beautiful. Keep them in line, people. That's what you're supposed to do for all of us. Going back in here, this is neat. This is not what I would have expected either. This one has a nice twist. I'm gonna be honest, everyone out there. I can feel myself getting a little buzzed tonight. I may have had larger pours here. These are all very neat, but I'm just being honest. I can feel a little buzz coming.
All right, Amontillado, according to Emily.
And you know she's right.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going with it. I can't speak English, much less.
We have the right. Hey, we get pronunciation lessons here on the show.
Yeah, it's too late at night
Beautiful.
to speak English.
She tries to stop us.
I had the very finest education that North Carolina could give, and then 16 years of college.
16 years of college down the drain.
To be able to not pronounce Amontillado.
I don't know. It's shorter than what I was expecting, and I get a little more tannins on the back end in the finish. But it's almost like a little numbing effect, really, on the sides and over my tongue. I don't want to call it tannic. It's drying, and usually I associate tannic and drying, and that's not quite the same here, but it is drying. But it's not like I'm getting like a tannic or anything like that. It's weird.
Yeah,
The numbness makes me feel like I've been drugged a little.
Well, I mean, it is 114.8% or proof.
Oh, I was like, damn, man, we go, Mitch. We're over 100%. How did you get to do that?
Remember when I said I couldn't speak English that well?
It's English that good.
Sorry. Well is a deep subject. But yeah, so I literally bought this for the name of Amontillado.
Yeah, I find this is way different than the other two. It's just that fruit note is nuts on here. That is the strongest. That is very strong, and it's very different than other peaty notes.
It is a funky fruit.
Man.
So
I haven't been around one, but this is what I would imagine if you were introducing fruit to a dunderpit.
I thought
it's not bad.
This is absolutely not true. But a lot of dunderpits have fruit in them, or at least that's kind of how they started.
I always took a dunderpit as basically it's your compost. So, but I'm just thinking like you've got the funk in place, and now you're adding more fruit to it. So you've got the fruit on top of the funk.
Morgan's brother needs to make a fruity rum.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think
this is like fine. Imagine if you just added like the right type of cherry like this. Like no, that's not. But that's what I'm feeling is in here is like this right between a tart and a little bit of sugar sweet cherry. There's some. I'm feeling like I'm getting the pit of it, like a Door County cherry. Maybe I'll have to send you guys.
They ship Door County, or they used to, down to Kentucky. So we get them every once in a while.
The dog knows about this shit.
Somebody's walking by 6 blocks away.
And he sounds utterly vicious, like he could go for your ankle at any moment.
Well, he is a corgi, so yes.
Yes.
He is going to defend you like that.
He is bred to take on the larger beasts.
All right, 3 little shots of that one and the master. All right, let's get on to the next one here.
All right.
So this is the last of the scotches. This is Lagavulin Distillers Edition.
Oh my goodness.
For which I found a very empty box.
Just so you know, Morgan is like starting to pour some of this down the drain. She's emptying out some of the scotches.
Well, I hope she didn't start
away.
with this one. She could have started with a cheaper one.
Oh, this is velvety.
So this is only 43% ABV. So it is a step down in ABV from the Peat Reek. But this is what they would call double Pedro Jimenez matured. So it was not started in a bourbon barrel and moved to Pedro Jimenez. This is exclusively Pedro Jimenez matured.
Man, this smells like a cigar room to me, where you smoke cognac with cigars.
An old leather.
Yeah.
Pat, you're blurry.
Oh, shit.
He's been drinking a lot. Don't give him a...
Yeah. Yeah, I was drinking. I don't know what happened here. Let's see if I can fix that. Worst case, I'll be back in a second here.
Looks like the worst case.
We've been down this road before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. You said it.
Can you give it the old, put your hand in front of it? And then
I did it, but let's do this. Hold on. I can.
Smack it.
Hey, you're back.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Just got you ready. You got to hit it. I miss when you could hit screens.
You
It
still
worked.
can.
It's
just-
not the same. I like
It
to
works for everything except people.
Get your whole hand on the side of it and give it a good whack.
I feel like the lack of percussive maintenance on some people really describes the downfall of America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were Polaris dealers, so yeah. There's some oddities with how do you fix this? Let's get a hammer.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
There are consequences to doing that, Emily. This is why you should get old retired nuns, and you hire them, and then they just show up because no one's going to hit an old nun back.
I think my dad might. I'm not gonna lie. He spent way too long in Catholic school, and I think his fantasies have morphed as a 70 whatever year old man. He's just like, I don't care if one of them hits me. I'm just gonna lay them out. It doesn't matter if they have a ruler or not.
I've been waiting for this.
I'm going to
All
knock
right.
her out of her sensible shoes.
All right, this
Yes.
is
My dad got run into on the playground once, and hit his other guy's hit his head, and he ran up to one of the nuns, just like, "Oh my God, my head!" And the nun, of course, is like, "I don't care about your head, right?" But she's like, "Let me see it." And he takes his hand away, and it had split his head open just perfectly, where it had squirted out and got all over the white part of her habit. When he showed her, and she was so mad. He said she cared more about the fact that he bled on her than that he was bleeding. He was like, "Don't get me in trouble."
you gotta love that old stuff.
Mm.
All right, here. Yeah. Parlor, old library. Velvety. Smells velvety, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. If memory serves correct, this with a cigar is one of the greatest pleasures.
Wow, you can really tell that it's missing the first barrel. And it really went all over into the other barrel. This is, you know what I mean? It's so light. It doesn't have the bourbon background. It's just kind of, it's much more flowy and watery on the underside here. I would not have expected that.
But it still has that Lagavulin DNA that runs.
Oh,
through
yes.
it.
Yeah, but I just mean like it has, this is, getting rid of that has more torque than some of the other finishes I've seen. Like this is kind of neat experiment for me.
So I am going to say something that is probably sacrilegious. which is I don't like Lagavulin 16. I like Lagavulin 8, and I like Lagavulin Distillers Edition. But I do not like the finish on Lagavulin 16.
Oh,
This finish is wonderful.
It's incredibly friendly. It's like peat, heather, honey graham cracker, jam. Man, this is just friendly.
but that
I'm having a hard time like seeing if I would put these in a different order. But I don't know. This is really good, and it's not as strong peaty flavored as, let's say, the Wall, which you might have thought.
The finish I get is like a well, what I wrote down was honeyed ash.
Okay.
And it has that feel of honey afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's leaving that sweetness.
I get like an apricot or more of like a pear, like a ripe pear in it too. Oh, then there comes the little baking spice notes. Like a white pepper, not a black pepper. And not overpowering smoky wise. You know what I mean? I would have thought maybe a heavier hand there, but it is surprisingly less than I expected.
I wish I still had some 16
Just throwing me off.
that I
That's
could
my problem.
go head to head, but
This is better.
Downstairs.
I do like the 8. I've got the first Offerman. I still have some of that. But you know, to do them all side by side would be nice.
Sorry, everyone.
I did the 8, 12, and 16 and 9 from Game of Thrones once. I think I like the 9 the most.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
I remember. I did. I liked the 9 the best out of those ones. I remember that because it was very close to the Ron Swanson. I think was a 9, and then he did an 11 afterwards. If I'm not right.
The Ron Swanson 11-year-old in Nebraska is $60 right now.
Oh, nice.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Good
ridiculous.
deal.
Yeah, that's a really good deal. That's why I have one.
I'm just saying, any Lagavulin at that price that you're doing, I'm coming away pretty happy, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
Most scotches at $60 are a pretty decent steal.
About 2 months ago, my preferred place down the street had they had 16 for it's like $83.
Well, that's a really good price.
And told a friend of mine who was looking for it, who was up in Iowa, and so I picked it up for him, and it ended up being the only bottle on the shelf, but that's fine because he did
You
share
still
it.
got it? No, you still got
Oh
it.
no, I already gave it to him, but
Oh.
it was my buddy Brian that was at Distill.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I like that one too, but I'm switching over to the Super Blend, I think, is where I'm on right now.
Yup,
Was
I got
I?
blend going.
Maybe this is the one. This seems
After I finish off the last of this, I'll move on to my blend of 2.
it's okay. Yours could be better. You never know how that works out.
Blend is a blend, man.
Mine was fucking weird. My version was a little light, watery, almost like cotton candy, like a wooded cotton candy for a second.
Were you pretty even?
That's fair, pretty much, I think. Maybe not enough of the last one, but otherwise, I thought I was pretty close.
I feel like I got to really get in the pull stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Even on the taste on this, I am, and I'm getting more weirdly, I'm going to say lemon and the lemon part of a lemon meringue pie, and then like a little bit of the meringue on top.
Mm-hmm.
A buttery caramel note, almost like in the crust or on like the meringue on top. If you really put a blowtorch to it.
Okay.
This is-
A lemon
Yeah.
meringue, but that's light on the lemon. Maybe
Mhm.
has some other fruit in it. Peated.
So like lemon meringue, and then you just like toss little preserve on the top, and then throw on the meringue. I think I
I
can.
mean,
I
and
can
it's
agree
peated.
to that. The crust is peated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, peated pies. Can you imagine?
That's what I'm talking about. The pie crust and whatever's on top. Think about that. People are missing out.
What about a peated pizza?
I don't know. That might be tougher.
No.
Might be delicious.
Yeah. See, Jesse knows what's up.
Yeah. Well, pie could mean either way. You know what I mean?
But think
Pie
about
could
it.
be the pie.
If you could make a pizza out on the grill,
Mhm.
use a little peat.
Oh, just to
Smoke
smoke
that
the
pizza.
outside. Yes, I think that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially with the right type of tomato sauce. You know, like that could really play into that quite a bit. I think sauce in a pizza is one of the most underrated things that people talk about. It's too much crust, too much cheese discussion. It's the sauce and the flavor of it, I think, is really what changes a lot of things. Not that I don't think everything else is important.
Everything can change a lot.
Yeah.
Cheese can change a lot. A good crust at your base. But yeah, you can get a good rich sauce, you can get a sweet sauce, you can get a sauce that's got some funk to it. That can change it. But cheese also, funky cheese that's not fat enough.
Fake cheese fucks it up. Sorry, it does.
Don't use low fat cheese.
You can tell the difference. Yeah, be a real fat kid and get the real cheese. Get the grater, shred it on, and
I like this blend.
Is that what I expected?
I don't think it's better than any of the four that we had.
That would be accurate. It would be a waste to make this. But it's weird that this happened in my mind. Like, really weird to come out of that blend.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with it, so I'm just set it down. All right. That's awesome. Mitch, you're the man. Those were outstanding. I feel like there's a little bit of Pete right here just waiting for a burp. Come out.
For you to gift it to the rest of the world.
It's stuck in there. Whew, I'm hot. You okay, Mike? You look like you're having decisions.
Oh, I did. I need to pour something to cheers out on. I was like, well, which one do I want to pour?
Oh, as a single one?
Which means it doesn't mean I have a favorite. Well, because I finished everything else. It's just the one I chose for the pour.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to the wall for me, I think, on the last one here.
I'm doing the Blackadder.
They're all good.
I'm doing my blend of wall-to-wall and Blackadder.
And how is that?
Yeah, let's hear about this.
That's pretty good. It took the funky weirdness of the Blackadder and added it to the wall-to-wall.
Huh.
Okay.
I think they were both better separate, but
okay, that's what I was looking for. I didn't know where that landed out in then, so all right, that's sweet.
Okay then.
All right. I'm ready to get going. I was gonna say I'm sorry, I had drank too much too quick here. I'm just gonna be honest, I made heavy pours and I enjoyed all of these immensely because they were all quite good.
Yes, very, very good. And thank you once again for sharing.
Yes, tremendously. Yeah, because really,
and Morgan.
And Morgan.
Well, she's thrilled to get rid of them.
I'm sure she was.
Couldn't you send those to more people?
Maybe that's why I can't find them. She's just been giving them away.
Yeah.
That'd be okay.
Why'd the mailman just say thank you?
Just keeping everyone in the neighborhood happy. They all like us here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I am ready to take off for the evening. I still have some work to do here, unfortunately, but these have been like we said, great, really, yeah, I'm gonna say just great whiskeys, all of them.
Yes.
Really, really happy with them. Everyone who made them should be happy, and individually different, just completely different and a lot of fun. So, I would. Sorry, I switched back to read the chat. Well, sure. All you gotta do is send. Check the little notes. You know where the My Whiskey Den WI is. Send me the address, and we can send some stuff out. I don't know about these. Damn, that's Mitch's thing. I can still send out a care package.
Yeah.
I have some peated scotches. I got stuff.
Just let Morgan know you're looking for him.
Well, now. Slow down a little bit there.
All right. So, thank you everyone for stopping in at the show. We really appreciate it. You have been fun, and we can't wait to see you next weekend. Remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It is the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.